Greetings, Algo artisans. We had some pretty big wins on Raydium and Jupiter. Also, is Bitcoin in a pullback? We're going to jump into the charts right now. Okay, so Bitcoin seems to have made at least a local top, and we can see here on the chart, on the daily chart, actually the 18-hour chart, that Bitcoin moved up to 74,000 and rejected, actually at almost 74,000. And as I had mentioned, that if Bitcoin stayed above 73,000 for at least a few days, I would be confident the price would move forward. It did not do so, right? So you can go back to prior videos and see me say that a number of times, and it seems as if Bitcoin is pulling back, but the real question is, how deeply could it pull back? Well, let's take a look over at the Kingfisher.io. This is a great website. I use it all the time. There is a link in the description. If you want to use that referral link, you can get a discount. And there are many things that the Kingfisher does. Among them, you can look at liquidity. So let's go ahead and grab a liquidity map. Okay, after this morning's move, we have liquidity sitting mostly just above price at about 69,200. And then we have some liquidity sitting at about 49,000 all the way through, just about the 49,000 range, and then some in the lower 50s. We do have some sitting right here at about 55,000, and that is an area in which I am interested. However, the liquidity to the top side is actually quite remarkable. This sprung up this morning after a quick move down, so I might have to take a look at a short I'm in and change that stop loss. But in the meantime, let's take a look back at the charts, and let's mark out 55,000 and 49,000. Okay, there we are, 55,000 and 49,000. So those are areas where price could go down to if we do see a deeper retracement. Now, we're not quite there yet. We don't know the price is going to continue down. As we've spoken of before, prior to the halving, price does tend to drop 20-30%. We haven't seen a whole lot of halvings, so these are not strong data points. But if we did use that logic, 20% would be right about 58,000, 58,500, and 30% would be roughly, say, 51,000. And I do think either of these liquidity points are decent targets right now, because 55,000 is a little bit closer to price right now. I would look at that as a better target. But remember, price could actually run up and grab liquidity before it goes down, up at 69,200. So to be safe, if I were in a trade, I would be at about 69,700. Okay, so, but yeah, I'm liking a fall down to 55 and possibly 49. These are reasonable areas. However, we are in a different kind of a bull market where we have a lot of Bitcoin being bought by very large entities, and they continue to buy it on the way up. So these pullbacks may not last. We'll see how that goes. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our wins. Raydium was beautiful. So I did a video on Raydium on the 16th, and price was right about here as I did that video, roughly in the 238 range. Now price rocketed up to, let me see here, about 333. So you're looking at about a 40 or 35% gain in a matter of days. And it seems to be continuing up despite what Bitcoin is doing. So massive wins. And of course, to take a look at what this might look like as far as upside targets are concerned, I did get this as a buy and hold. But if I were trading it, I would be interested in exiting at this 272, which would have been a great first target to take, as you can see, and possibly at 376. So a couple of good spots right there. Now, those are just short-term targets. Those are if I were in some kind of a short-term trade. Again, I bought Raydium for a buy and hold because Raydium is an exchange token on the Solana blockchain. It's where all of the meme coins are meming, right? It's where a lot of the Ethereum meme coin action has gone, because Ethereum gas prices are so high, even despite Ethereum gas prices now being closer to $30 instead of 50 or 60 or 80 or 90. So I would say, a nice topside target for the moment of 375 or so. However, how high could this go? Really, double digits, very easily, very realistically double digits. I know Uniswap, for comparison, we'll take a brief look at that. When Uniswap was introduced in 2021, it was the first real major kind of high-profile DEX for Ethereum coins. And I'm sorry, was it 20? I think it was like 2018 or 19. So forgive me on that misspeaking here. But it went all the way up to $45, and that was when the market was much less popular than it is right now, arguably, right? So when it was first introduced, I would expect Raydium to be able to approach these levels very easily. Uniswap right now is at $12, and Raydium being below $5. I mean, 45, 100, anything in that range, you're looking at least a times 10, in my opinion, not investment advice. I will be holding on to Raydium through this bull cycle, though. That's definitely something I want to do. And as you can see, as Bitcoin topped out last time, Uniswap topped out, and we saw the move down. So I will definitely be taking profit as I see I think Bitcoin might see its top either later this year or sometime next year. And I think next year is realistic. So if I see what I think is a Bitcoin top, then I will be taking some profit on Raydium. And this again is Uniswap. We just wanted to see a comparison for what a DEX coin could look like, right? And how it could act upon an introduction. And this was the first major ETH DEX, and of course Raydium being the biggest known Solana DEX. Jupiter is also related. Obviously a much newer coin, very bullish chart here. Let me go lower time frame. And not performing quite as well as Raydium, but obviously it is holding up nicely, has this nice rounded bottom, kind of trying to break its top. Now, mind you, if Bitcoin does take a strong fall down, then any of these coins could go ahead and retrace, although it seems that Raydium and Jupiter are holding up a lot better than other tokens are in comparison. So where do I think this might go? Again, this is a little bit of a flashback to the last video, but I see targets at about $1.70 and $1.95. That's where I'd be interested. If I were simply trading, that's where I'd be interested in taking profit. But I actually bought these two buy and hold, and I do believe that Jupiter, I'm not, if I were to compare it to Raydium at this time, let's just say Raydium went to $100. I'm not saying it will, but if it did, I would expect Jupiter to go to maybe 30 or 40. But then again, of course, this total dynamic could change. Jupiter could do way better, and anything can happen. But that's just where it is right now. That's how I see things, right? And doing long-term high forecasting is really almost a fool's errand, but it's good to have an idea of, kind of a relative area where things could go. So double digits for Jupiter, maybe triple digits for Raydium, maybe. We'll see how that goes. So some nice wins, though. Those were great moves up. And really enjoying this market. Again, we're possibly looking at a Bitcoin pullback, and if that Bitcoin pullback does happen, if it does manifest, we could be seeing some pretty significant, changes. Let's talk a little bit about that, what that might look like. Now, if Bitcoin pulls back in a strong, hard way, if it goes straight down, let's just say the lower target of 49. Let's say it makes it all the way down there, which it may not. If it went straight down, then I think every single coin would take a hit. That's just how it would go. It's too violent of a move. A lot of money would flow out of the alts into Bitcoin and possibly out of Bitcoin. However, if Bitcoin were to maybe just gently move down, stair step down, and then make its way here, and then range for a while, I think that some coins, such as Raydium and, Jupiter, all of them, I think they might even just continue to go up. Solana has just been bucking the trend big time, at least the last few days. A lot of other coins would either do really well or at least kind of hang out where they are. So the more gentle this falls and the sooner Bitcoin finds some kind of an equilibrium, the better the altcoins will do. This is it, though. That's what we got time for. Again, the halving is coming up in probably less than a month, and that will be an interesting event. And there usually is a bit of a pullback before that. So that's what we talked about today. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope this was helpful. If you want to know more, come over to algofactory.tech. What we do is we teach people how to extract money from the market on a regular basis, right? We help you develop your own trading plan, your own algorithm to help you pull money out of the markets. And we can teach anybody to do it. This is not some kind of crazy high-level stuff. So come on over, check us out. Remember, trade your job, upgrade your life. We'll see you on the next one.